Hello friends, Nepun here. Thanks for coming into my channel and watching this video. So today what we are going to talk about is BRP. So what does BRP mean or stand for? So BRP stands for Biometric Residence Permit. Jokingly, people say that it is British Residence Permit, but then, yeah, the fun part is that. So what is BRP and why do you need a BRP? So any student or anybody planning to come for work in the UK needs to have a visa. So if your visa is less than 6 months, then it is stamped onto your passport. Whereas if it is not, they would stamp a visa for a month's period, and then you would basically get a BRP or a biometric residence once you're back in the UK. So let's take step by step of what it is. So now the first thing that you have to understand is BRP is basically all your biometric readings and all that put together into a card, and it would look something similar to this or exactly this. This is my BRP. Now to go forward or sorry to look at it a step behind. So the BRP has details from your COS. Now COS stands for Certificate of Sponsorship. So if you're here for work or if you're here for studies, basically they would take a look at it and say, here are the details. You're going to be here for a year or two, or depending on how long you're going to be here. Your certificate of sponsorship is done, and you would send it across to the embassy. They would get it approved and send it back to your yourself or whoever is applying for you. Now, so when you do that, I like to give a tip on this. When you do that, if you're working at a place, at a client location or something like that, give a postal address near to that client location, because you will have to go to the post office to collect the BRP. So if it is nearby, it's just a 10-minute job to get the BRP. So it is probably better to give a postal address which is nearby to the office. Now, so with that being said, once you come in for the first time, you would actually show your 1 month visa that is stamped on your passport along with your COS document at the time of immigration in the airport. So that's how you get into it. So once you get into the country, basically what they say is that within the 30 days you will have to collect the BRP. So the first 10 days it's not in. So even if you get the visa on the first on day 1 and you travel on day 2, it would still take 10 to 15 days for your BRP to come into the postal address so that you can actually collect the BRP. Now once that you have collected, or you'll have to go to the post office, basically give your passport and then your name and your date of birth to collect your BRP. So it would be on a signed, sealed letter wherein you will have to collect that, and you would have to sign for collecting that. So nobody else can get your BRP on your behalf. It has to be you, technically. Now, with that being said, once you collect the BRP, so the usual minimum period is 10 days of time that you say. Do remember, here's the tip number 2. When you get the visa, if your dependents are not traveling with you and you're planning to take your dependents at a later point of time, do remember that it is still the same 30-day period for them. So you cannot get the visa and then bring them after 3 or 4 months. It's not possible. Once you get the visa stamped on their passport, it's the same 30 days for them too. So they would also have to come in 30 days within 30 days, or else your visa is going to be invalid. So now once that you have collected your BRP, always check if your BRP end date and your COS end date is the same. If not, please ensure that that gets corrected. So as long as your BRP is having an extended date, it is good for you. You can stay that long, but then COS also needs to be updated. So now the most important thing is, like, what if you do not get your BRP or within the stipulated time? Now basically you will have to call up the immigration office or the HMRC and then tell them that I haven't received the request, and they would technically take the process further from there. And what they would do is, like, they would require a full name, your date of birth, and your nationality basically, and then you will have to provide them an email address. Do remember to provide an email address so that they can come back and come back and give you the details of that. The request is taken as an emergency request, because do understand that if you do not have BRP with you, you are technically an alien or an immigrant without valid documents. So there's likely possibility that you could be thrown out of the country. Now, with that being said, don't be scared. Not truly, you can still stay 10 days. If you take a look at the websites and all that, it still says that you can take 10 days of time, even if you don't have the BRP, by which you will have to still get the other process done, and you can collect a temporary BRP. So that's just the overall process of a BRP. Probably on the BRP, I can let you know what all details are there. You would actually have sorry, I'm trying to hide it. There's a specific number towards the leftmost corner of your BRP card. You would have your photo on the BRP card. You would have your name. You would have your validity time as to when your BRP is valid till, and it also says the start date also. So it also mentions which place, like UK or Wales is a different place, and then it also says the type of the permit and a remark. Now, the type of the permit would be something like a long-term visa, or it's like an L1 ICT long-term, or a Tier 4 general, Tier 4 student, it's just student visa, and the next line would be leave to remain or leave to enter. Now, if you're coming for the first time, it would be leave to enter. Next time, if you're applying for an extension, it would be leave to remain. And on the back side of it, you would have your date of birth, your place of birth, and the country that you're coming from, and your gender. And the most important thing that you will have to take a look at this is, please ensure that you have your NINO number. It is called the National Insurance Number. So of late, what has been done is that you are entitled for a NINO number, and they go ahead and get that done for you right away when you come in to the UK. So for me, I had to apply for an NINO separately when I came into the UK for the first time, but that process has changed, because it's a pretty lengthy process. You would have to stand in queue for some time, probably hours, and get those things sorted. So that's a small brief about BRP. So in case you would like to know more about stuff like these, please do comment on the comment section, so that I can take a look and see what else can be provided to you. If you like this video, please do hit the like button, and then it's just a start. Probably there's no much videos, but you could still go ahead and subscribe, and then as I have more videos, you will get more inputs. So this is more on UK and living in UK. Thanks.